Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, and now here I am continuing my countdown of reviews for my picks for the top 10 best anime DreamWorks movies. As I told you guys in my last review, I had a two-way tie for the number 8 spot. So now here I am with my review for my other spot at number 8, which is Flushed Away. So, yeah, like I said in my last review, it was really hard for me to decide which one was really better between this and Over the Hedge. So, yeah, I just really couldn't, decide which one I liked more, so I put both of these movies in the number 8 spot. And yeah, I did think that this was a pretty good movie. I mean, I really did enjoy this when it first came out, and yeah, I haven't really watched this that many times since seeing it in the theaters. I mean, I have watched it a few times since then, but yeah, it's not really something that I have really watched regularly so many times ever since it was released. But yeah, I still really think it is a pretty good movie. I mean, yeah, characters in this film are pretty good, and yeah, the plot for this, well, it is kind of well, yeah, it's kind of like a adult style plot in a way. It's kind of like a kidnapping stuff or an evil plans or something. Like ones that you would see in films that were really that are targeted for older audiences. Yeah, but yeah, it kind of has a plot like that. But yeah, for as it does go for a family film, I think it is done pretty well in this film. Yeah, you do have a few some big stars in the film. I mean, you have voice actors like Hugh Jackman. There's Kate Winslet, Ian McKellen, Andy Serkis. So yeah, it has a few number of stars in this film. Yeah, and yeah, kind of think of this yeah, they got a couple of X-Men actors for this film, of course, with Hugh Jackman and Ian McKellen. So I did think that was interesting for this film. And yeah, it does have some good humor to it. I mean, there were two scenes in this movie that really just had me laughing so hard when I saw this film in the theaters, and even as I was growing up, when I would rewatch this movie, they would still get a laugh out of me. It was those two scenes are when in the scene where Roddy is trying to get down to the ground after he is trying to follow Rita, and then he was holding onto the toilet paper, and then it broke, it tore, and then he had four nut shots as he fell down. That was just really hilarious. And the other one was when Spike was about to kill Roddy on the boat, and then he just got pulled back because the cord that he was on just had stretched out as far as it could. And he just pulled him back, and then he just screamed like a girl as he was falling back. Yeah, those two scenes were just really hilarious. Yeah, I mean, they just had me laughing so hard when I first saw the film, and yeah, it continues to really. And I yeah, they still really get a laugh at me now. They're just really hilarious scenes. And yeah, the rest of the film overall, it is pretty good too. I mean, yeah, it has a good amount of characters. I mean, there's of course the main character Roddy, as I said, and there's also Rita. There's the Toad and like his henchmen Spike and Whitey and some other ones. And yeah, I do think there are pretty good characters. I mean, yeah, they all I guess they do their job pretty well in this film. I mean, yeah, yeah, it's they have a plot to really pretty much destroy all the rodents, because the Toad in this film, he really hates rodents because of a backstory we would later find out about in this film. And yeah, I do think that the plot overall for this film, it is pretty good. Yeah, this film, of course, is a claymation style film from Aardman Animations, and yeah, Aardman Animations just are really great with claymation. And I mean, yeah, as a kid, I really did love claymation. I mean, even when I was a kid, I could appreciate all the work that really did go into these, because it's not they animate it totally on the computer. I mean, they actually really do use clay figurines and stuff, and they have to do shot by shot stuff for this, and use different mouths and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of work that really goes into claymation. And deserves like a lot of like appreciation and stuff for all the work that they put into these kinds of things. And yeah, it's just really like a pretty good film overall. I mean, it has like a good premise to it and some good characters, and yeah, it just is all around a pretty likable family film. I would give this film probably 3.25 stars out of 4. Once again, just like Over the Hedge. I mean, yeah, it pretty much just does have pretty much the same like enjoyment factor that Over the Hedge does. I mean, it does have like really good characters, has some laughs in it, a pretty good premise, and yeah, it just overall, I think this is like a really enjoyable family film, and it is a really good like film for like families to watch together. So yeah, just overall a real enjoyable film. All right, so yeah, let me just get right into it. All right, so as the film opens up, it shows that it takes place. The film opens in like England somewhere like Kensington, and it shows that Roddy's family, well, the family that looks after him, are like going off on vacation or something, and then with Roddy really like just being by himself, he just ends up like just partying in the house and just playing around, and eventually like it shows them like a sewer rat named Sid is like just came out of the sink, and then he just decided to stay at the house. And yeah, he wanted to watch like the World Cup final that was taking place that weekend between England and Germany. And yeah, he was pretty much just like forcing himself upon Rodney. Well, yeah, I'm not really like putting it like in that way, but yeah, he just ends up like really just being really demanding to Roddy, pretty much just forcing Roddy to let him stay. And then like Roddy was like trying to really get rid of Sid, and yeah, he was trying to tell him to take a jacuzzi, which was like the toilet, and yeah, he was just acting like the flusher really would like start the bubbles in the jacuzzi, but of course like Sid didn't fall for that, and then yeah, he knew what Roddy was trying to do, and then he ended up throwing Roddy into the toilet and flushing him down the toilet into the sewer. And once Roddy arrived down into the sewer, there was a funny bit where he like saw a slug, and then he was like screaming at the slug, and the slug was screaming back at Roddy. And eventually, Roddy discovered like down in the sewer there was this, like other rats there, pretty much like putting together their own London town out of like all pieces of junk and stuff. Yeah, and he eventually came across another rat, Rita, who was like a scavenger rat, and she had like her boat, the Jammy Dodger and stuff. Yeah, and yeah, yeah, and of course at first Rita really wasn't very, didn't really like Roddy very much, and really like really didn't want him around her, and yeah, Roddy ended up like getting her like caught by like some like Spike and Whitey who were after her, and yeah, they were like trying to steal a ruby that Rita had on her, because apparently like Rita had stolen it back from them after they stole from her, because yeah, there was like a ruby that had belonged to uh, Rita's father before. Yeah, and yeah, apparently like there was like a plan by like the Toad to really just like cause a flood in the sewer to destroy all of the rats and stuff, which we would later find out more about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then like after like 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 Re- Rita and Roddy were brought to the Toad, like the Toad then was just like revealing all of his plans, like he was like gonna try to freeze all the rats with like liquid nitrogen in an ice maker. And yeah, he tried to do it to Roddy and Rita, but then they ended up escaping, and Rita like took a like an electrical cable to like slide down a pipe, and like Roddy held onto like Rita's legs, and he ended up like, well, as he was holding on, like Rita's belt ended up like snapping, having, and then yeah, then like Rita then like used that cable then to just replace her belt to hold her pants up, and it was eventually like revealed that that cable was actually what was needed to control the floodgates for the Toad's plan. Yeah. Yeah, there was then like after Rita had put that cable on her, then she just like jumped down to the ground, back to her boat, and then yeah, Roddy of course followed, and then there was what I was talking about earlier, with like Roddy like falling and having like 4 different nut shots as he was falling down, like on a hose faucet, and then like a shower pipe, and then like a boot that was pointing up, and then a hammer. You know, and then afterwards, like there were some kid rats that ended up like kicking a soccer ball into Roddy's nuts also. And yeah, eventually, like Roddy and Rita were on her boat again, and then like Rita like ended up like having the ruby like fall out of her hands, but Roddy ended up catching it, and then Roddy like finds found out that the Rita's ruby was fake and it was just glass, and then yeah he just like shattered the ruby right in front of Rita, and of course like she really wasn't pleased with that at all. Yeah, because yeah, Rita like in this, she's like trying to get money for her family and stuff, which I'm not really sure how that really works, considering how these are rats and not people. But yeah, it's a family film, so yeah. And then yeah, so yeah, Roddy then offered Rita a real ruby if she takes him back to his home. And then yeah, Rita accepted, and then yeah, they like stopped off to visit Rita's family. And yeah, as Roddy was there with them, like he ended up like overhearing a conversation between like Rita and her brother, I guess. Yes, and yeah, it like gave Roddy the wrong idea that Rita was like had double crossed him, and so then Roddy ended up stealing Rita's boat. Oh yeah, but then like yeah, Rita of course like followed and eventually like caught up with Roddy, and yeah, there was like a little bit of animosity right there. She like told Roddy what actually did happen during that conversation, and yeah, she was like trying to abandon Roddy at first, but then yeah, they ended up like clearing things up later on, and then continued on with their journey. Yeah, but then like it showed then Spike and Whitey, then like gave a chase to Rita and Roddy on like a remote controlled boat. Yeah, and then yeah, there was like all that chase, and eventually like Spike ended up like jumping onto Rita and Roddy's boat, and then at one point, like, yeah, Roddy was like, not Roddy, Spike was like, all had a like one of those like small like elastic foam wire things like attached to him and stuff, and then like then he was on like Rita and Roddy's boat, and the boat just was like moving really fast, and then like of course like it was like stretching out the wire, and then like at one point like Spike had like Roddy down, looked like he was about to kill him, and then like when he asked Roddy if he had any last requests, Roddy just asked Spike if he could just fly suddenly off the boat, scream like a girl, and then yeah, that's when just Spike was then pulled back by the wire, and then he was just screaming like a girl, and yeah, Rita and Roddy ended up escaping them. Yeah. And then yeah, the Toad then just then after that, because of like the repeat failures from all of his henchmen, then just set out for his cousin, as in Leifrog, who was just like a laid back mercenary. Yeah. And then, yeah, then, like, during this whole thing, then, like, the Toad revealed that he was once, like, a pet of Prince Charles, and he ended up getting replaced by a pet rat, and then like ended up being flushed down a toilet. And yeah, this is the reason why he really does hate rats, yeah, and rodents. Yeah. Then eventually, like, Frog and like his subordinates ended up like intercepting Roddy and Rita, and eventually they ended up like taking the cable. But then, like, as they Roddy and Rita like the Jamie Dodger ended up like being tipped over, so, and they were like dangling from an edge, and then, but then like Roddy and Rita then just used a plastic bag and pretty much used it like a parachute to like lift themselves out of the sewer, and they ended up like taking the cable away also, and yeah, the Jamie Dodger ended up being destroyed, but yeah, then eventually like Roddy and Rita arrived back at Roddy's home, and once they arrived back at Roddy's home, Roddy gave Rita the ruby he promised along with an emerald, and then he was like giving Rita a tour of his house, and, and then like once Rita saw Roddy's cage, she like realized that Roddy was actually a pet, and then yeah, Sid was still there watching the World Cup final, and then Roddy at first tried to like pass off Sid as his brother Rupert, but yeah, it was like shown that Sid and Rita actually do know each other, yeah, and yeah, Rita was just like trying to tell Roddy that he should come with her, but yeah, Roddy like was just like really too proud, and he just didn't admit to her that he was lonely. And yeah, of course, like they now had like feelings for each other and had romantic attraction to each other and stuff. But yeah, then like they both Roddy and Rita were just like really like brokenhearted as Rita ended up leaving. You know, but then like Rita ended up like being captured by the Toad, and then like Roddy was then like watching the World Cup final with Sid, and then like after like Sid had brought up halftime to Roddy that he was waiting to go into the bathroom until halftime, then that's when Roddy then realized that the Toad is really waiting until halftime to really open up the floodgates to cause the flood to destroy the rats. Yeah, because yeah, that's when like everybody will actually be using their toilets. Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, after hearing about like discovering this, then Roddy asked Sid to flush him back down the toilet, and he like told Sid that he would now be the pet for Tabitha, and then yeah, then Roddy went back down to the sewer, and then yeah, he went down to find Rita, and then yeah, Roddy and Rita then like did battle with like the Toad and stuff, and then they eventually ended up like freezing him and the rest of the wave, wave of the sewage from like all the toilet flushings, and then yeah, they then just ended up like freezing it with the liquid nitrogen, like right on time before like all of the rats ended up being swept in the flood. And then yeah, then just Rita and Roddy like building like a new Jamie Dodger. They called it the Jamie Dodger Mark II, and then yeah, they then just set off with like Rita's like all of her family and stuff. Yeah, yeah, and yeah. I probably should like say like it was funny like anytime like Rita's family was here in this movie like Rita's mother like mistook Roddy for like basically Tom Jones and stuff, which was like pretty funny, and it just ended with like Rita's mother like giving a line about Tom Jones or something. Yeah, and yeah, there was like a then like after the credits started there was just like a small gag after where like Roddy's like family had returned, and then like Tabitha, his like the girl that looks after him, like now brought a new cat for Roddy to be with, and yeah, Sid like was like being scared of the cat, and yeah, that's just when it cut to credits completely. So yeah, we don't really know what happened. I mean, did Sid get eaten? Does the cat play with him? Like yeah, I guess we'll never know. But yeah, pretty funny movie overall. Like I said, 3.25 stars out of 4. I mean, it definitely is a pretty enjoyable film. Yeah, not the greatest DreamWorks movie ever, but definitely like a lot of enjoyable elements to it, and yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. It's definitely a good family film. Alright, so yeah, that's my review of Flushed Away. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, so yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.